Yeah, the point behind this is there's this UK company. I don't think I can trade it specifically, but there's a UK company called Games Workshop, and they make money on nerdy games, etc. They make nerdy, that. But the fact they're going to be producing movies, their content's going to get used. I mean, this company's been around for like over 40 years, probably closer to 50. They have a lot of history. A lot of history. Chad, have I seen the new Gene? I've seen the new models, yeah. By the way, Ellie Belly, when you said, wait, you're thinking the World of Warcraft movie, there actually is a Warhammer 40K movie. No one knows it, though. Don't they have physical stores? Correct, they do. They have, like, the GameStop model where it's, like, one person works there, and if they ever want to go, like, on a break, they have to shut down the store. But there is actually a Warhammer 40K movie, unofficially, by the way. Unofficially. You're not going to get it, so I'll tell you. Does any... Starship Troopers, that's great. Captain Squishface knew it. Event Horizon. Event Horizon. It's an urban legend. It's not official. It's not official. But Event Horizon, the entire way they explain faster than light travel is the same story background for what Warhammer 40K uses. So people have pointed out, and I believe the directors made some kind of comments about it too, but Event Horizon, if you go back and watch it, that's literally like how humans discovered space travel for 40K. Demons and everything. Yep, the first time humans encounter the warp, you know it. Event Horizon's an awesome movie, terrifying as shit. Chad, Warhammer is one of those things no one talks a lot. Yeah. Whenever, like, I'll say around people, I'll be like, blood for the blood god. And someone will say, like, skulls for the skull throne. Right? Or you say red ones go faster. Orcs found it through luck. True statement. Time to go to Amazon and order it. Tell Amazon, Jay sent you. See, Jeff Bezos, daddy, your streamer's doing well for you, right? We need a Stargate remakes? Yeah. I just want to see, like, cinematic universes explored, I think, correctly. The fuck is this channel now? Gaming? We've always been gaming, dumbass. Not really. I mean, the internet's... a stock market's a game, right? By the way, CSA, you asked for, like, earnings plays. The one that I'm most comfortable with, I'm actually much more confident tomorrow, both Cigna and Hasbro. I do have a small position in Qualcomm. How are they reacting now at the final? Ooh, Qualcomm's bouncing. How's Unity doing? Like shit. This has always been a YOLO channel. I support that. Hasbro's fucking into clothes. Jedab, how you doing, my friend? First time chat. This is a banger of a question. Hearthstone better than Magic? Ooh, so I play... I'll be honest, guys. If I had a large group of friends here face to face, we would all play Magic the Gathering together. We'd play a four-player version called Commander. We would drink beers, smoke something legal, and not take it seriously and have a good time. I have an account on Magic the Gathering Arena. I specifically, though, play Hearthstone because Hearthstone is, I think, just a lot cheaper. And if Magic the Gathering, the difference is Hearthstone's faster and is faster but less interactive. If I want to play a more interactive game, I want to be face to face. Then I'll torture someone where they can at least see me, right? I'm kind of in the same boat on Unity. Unity is a weird one. My pleasure, my friend. You'll play Magic with me? Well, thank you, Vulcan Green. I'm in the Georgia area. At some point coming up soon, guys, by the way, that which keeps me in Georgia becomes less of an issue. I may then move. Hopefully the housing market is such that it becomes really fun for me to move. But I'm totally for moving. If you like deck crafting, Magic the Gathering is a winner for sure. Absolutely. Chem Life. Wish there was an easy way to get into friends in a Battlegrounds lobby. Make sure you bring this up inside my Discord, by the way. Catan is frustrating. Oh, Mid Cap Market Maker. I disagree. Respectfully, my friend. Famous 7 guy. What is my favorite early 2000s team? I have no clue. Yeah, Brazil's interest rates tonight. Tecmo Bowl, not bad. You can play Warhammer in tabletops. That doesn't sound like it would be fun, though. It does full 3D models. Interesting. Like, to me, a game like Warhammer, and by the way, same thing with Magic the Gathering. Like, by the way, I will play in, like, pre-release events, like draft events for fun, just for fun. But in face-to-face games, particularly a game like Warhammer, where both people are spending lots of money and lots of time to me, you're not really playing against someone. You're playing together to craft a story. So, like, when I played, like, back in Connecticut or Pennsylvania, I had a really good group of people around me. We all had fun. No one cared. By the end of the night, no one gave a shit who won. It was very, very uncompetitive. Isn't the main game of Warhammer just painting models? No, you play. You play. Cream of Seven guy. No, I've seen American Pie. Was American Pie early 2000s or late 90s? Brain embolist. Do I have an in real life job keeping you? No, I don't talk about it very often, but when I'm not on here, I'm a bit of a what's the correct term, like healthcare aide, so to speak. I have family members in the area who are not in the best shape, particularly like post COVID. So there's been a bunch of like surgeries and stuff just getting fixed up, moving houses and stuff like that. I'm like the only kind of support. So like that's what, and it's more about making sure I'm comfortable with them so that I can pack up and leave at some point. I'm not in a rush, but a lot of the surgeries are now done, like brand new, like hips, back, etc. So yeah, caretaker, yeah. Chad, have you ever seen a Warhammer tournament? Yeah. I'm sure that's like a game like that, I think is just way too complex to ever be like truly competitive. And not only that, it defeats the purpose. Like, have fun. Right? Yeah, no problem, Brain Endless. I don't talk about that a lot, like for a lot of like reasons. I am not a good person, trust me. But yeah. That's why my streaming schedule is what it is. Quite frankly, that's why streaming was a good attempt right now, because it enabled to like I can help out during the entire like COVID time period. I couldn't see family. It was way too dangerous. A lot of medical vulnerability around here. So, but now like everything's getting back to normal. And so at some point I then have the choice to pick where I get to live. Stock market plans. They drink at these games. When I used to play back in Pennsylvania, they would shut down the shop and there'd be a group of us and we'd bring in beers, bring in drinks. Group of some guy. It's $19.99, but you get your point. Well, I just want to be specific, my friend. How was is dangerous? What do you mean dangerous? Sorry. What do you mean? Sorry. Playing the Inheritance long game. No, that's definitely not true. What was my favorite COVID fad? Among Us. I think the rise of social gaming, party gaming. Mark my words. I'm big, by the way, on the idea of like the metaverse, etc. I think in the future there's going to be some killer app, which is essentially a version of a digital or augmented reality game that brings socialness into it to a much greater degree. So basically, something you can play on a phone, but you specifically have to be around other people. Oh, I said it was dangerous? Okay. I was probably just using an expression. I actually have like a nice map and I have some terrain too. Jackbox is great, yeah. All right, guys. So wrapping up at the end. Let's see how the SPY is doing. All right. Looks like the Bears are firmly in control. Right? That happens. That sounds terrible. I don't know. If you build it, they will come. All right. So SPY not doing anything impressive. I assume the Bears are in control. Qualcomm, small pushback down. Nothing big. Nothing decisive. Hasbro was trying to go green. They were trying. Cigna. I feel like Cigna is like the safest play. All right. Oxy. How's Oxy doing? Team Buffett? They've been going up today. Still dumped. How's Shopify? It's trying, but still relatively low. All right. And then PayPal. PayPal will be the last one we look at. PayPal. Not a lot of movement here, honestly. Ms. Garrison, yeah, I did talk about CVS. I liked it mainly because, quite frankly, like, it reinforces the fact it's a very, very cheap stock. Time! Bears win. Bears win. Now, Qualcomm should report right at the close. Let me pull them up. Remember, Qualcomm has to speak about some form of bottom in cell phones, mobile phones. Everything else is just cotton candy. If they do not call a bottom, I expect them to drop. I would expect more of a drop. Wait for it. Yeah, suck at optimism. No shit, right? Yeah, Qualcomm's up first. We know that much. Qualcomm earnings release. Do those have the numbers on it? You at Shopify? Good luck. Apple is warned of a large drop. Have they? I want to go to the guidance. All right, current guidance. Fiscal, all right, yep, so current guidance. So between 8 to 8.9. And this quarter, yep, so they pulled 9.2. So it looks like they are guiding next quarter to be lower than this quarter. So that's probably not good for Qualcomm. Yep, Qualcomm down. Yep. Yeah, Qualcomm is no Broadcom. Tamuka, be careful about saying Apple warned us of a large drop in demand for phones because I don't know when that came from, but Apple hasn't said shit in the last 2 weeks because they're in blackout. Yep. It looks like Qualcomm is not calling a bottom. TSMC was right. I assume, by the way, they will have beaten this quarter. No one cares. Guidance is what matters. Guidance is what matters. Yeah, Frugal, I have continually been burned on Qualcomm. And the problem is, the day that I stop playing them, my fear is they call the bottom and they moon. The guide that I saw on their sheet didn't have like the previous guidance, so that's what I'm looking for. That's where I actually think Twitter does a good job. Looks like revenue was a slight beat, EPS up. There's the guide. Sees fourth quarter revenue. So at the midpoint, that's probably a guide down. Yeah, that's going to be a guide down, by the way. Not a big guide down. Yep. So 8 to 8.9 on revenue. Actually, given where they've already reported, that's actually not bad. That's actually not bad. Allegro, Rambus, Broadcom, way better in that space. That's a very different space, by the way. Very different space from Qualcomm. Mercado Libre with a big beat. Wow. By the way, it looks like they're maintaining their guide, or at least meeting guidance on EPS. So cost cutting is apparently working. Mercado Libre crushed it, go. Let's see. Oh, wow. To green. Robin Hood's pumping? Oh, boy. I would not have played them, so let's see. I assume low volume. Oh, maybe. Any shot at an early stream? Probably not. I'll have shit to do in the morning. You read that expectation was 88. No, I think they beat by 88, though. Yeah, beat by 88. That's a pretty big beat. Yeah, Hood, rubber banding. But when was their earnings supposed to? We got Robin Hood is at 405, so right about now. Yeah, so we should be expecting Robin Hood. I have no clue what time on Shopify and Etsy. So keep eyes on Robin Hood and Etsy. Cuervo. I wish Cuervo would go. Well, thank you, Padres fan. We know. Quarterly revenue of, okay. I don't know what the guidance was supposed to look like for Cuervo. Fergal, what happened to Qualcomm Auto? It's still building up. It's still building up. In fact, let me pull them up. The problem is it's so much smaller. Like, their mobile phones is first and foremost. Symbiotic pumping? Why? Where's their presentation? Yeah, accept. I want the earnings call. I want the... Here we go. Here's the presentation. Shopify moving up. We'll check that in a second. Hold on. All right, so they processed their Veoneer transaction. That's good. So automotive, for example, for Qualcomm, it's 434 million. Their handset business though is 5.3 billion. Yeah, people need to work on the definition of mooning. Yep. A lot of you guys were talking very positively, by the way, about Robinhood. So congratulations. Look, AI, expanding Snapdragon to value tier. I don't like that. Ultra low power connectivity for IoT. Got it. There's the new handsets being released. Yep. All right. Hood's out. All right, let's do the numbers for Hood. Etsy sync it. Interesting. All right, so Robin Hood profit. It's adjusted, I'm sure. Looks like a double beat by Robin Hood. Yeah, they did good. I mean, they did pretty good. What's this, Black Raven? Yeah, Qualcomm's EPS guide was in line, which shows they know how to manage costs. Yep, 4 identical Vanek. Yep, that's fine. So this is weekly bar chart. Weekly bar chart. Weekly bar chart. Yeah, that's fine. Stupendous symmetry. Yeah. I mean, keep this in mind. I like Carter B. Worth, but this man has been so fucking wrong watching Apple and Nvidia, and he's been on CNBC. He's also been on Risk Reversal, their podcast. I do watch it, and he's been insanely wrong. Bless his heart. American Buzz, they missed on revenue and they did not guide up next quarter, particularly on the revenue side. So people are still going to see a lot of weakness in mobile phones, or at least they're not calling it really well. Mock61 asks, why did AMD fall in a seemingly good earnings report? It wasn't that good. They hit the bare minimum. I don't think they deserve to sell off as much, but the biggest winner really of AMD's earnings was Nvidia. Come on, Unity. That ain't good. Hey, Deep Frickin' Value. How you doing, my friend? I didn't know you were a streamer. Why didn't you ever tell me this? Huh? I would have rated you. Unity's now dropping. Yeah, Mox, a lot of stocks are down today. I wouldn't read up too much into it. Like, put it this. Long term, I'm less interested now in AMD. They're not benefiting from AI yet. That's fourth quarter. There is an argument to be made. All right. Specifically on AMD, that the only way their full year guidance makes sense is if you believe that their fourth quarter is going to be a monster. The problem is a monster quarter for them is not going to look like Nvidia. If AR VR takes off, Unity be a good hold. I think Unity's probably a good hold anyway. To be fair, it's because the company I really want to buy does not. I can't. If Unreal Engine was broken off of Epic Games is of course privately held. If the Unreal Engine was its own business, I'd buy the shit out of that. I'm very bullish on that long term. Not even for games, by the way, for movies. Do I think Nvidia has room to grow? Oh, wait for their earnings. Wait for their earnings. Nvidia, I was tempted to buy some today. Like, their options are so fucking expensive. Nvidia is going to go ape shit. I'm willing to bet on next earnings. Put it this way, the company, there's no company I'm more confident is going to crush earnings expectations. And they will absolutely crush them. We've heard enough from the semiconductor supply chain. We know where it's going. Nvidia is going to be super strong. Confluent moving up now. Yep. So Unity seems to be. Yeah. Someone say money. I'm in the same boat. I'm hoping there's another day of a sell-off specifically for Nvidia. Look at Robinhood. That ain't good. Etsy, Gap, EPS, beats, revenue, beats, Outlook. I don't know what was the expectation, though. Yeah, promo in the same way. Sir Jack, oh, Kevin's wonderful. Sorry, Sir Jack. I'm a big Sir Jack fan. You guys got to know that. I'm a big Sir Jack fan. He's a nice guy. Any thoughts on TSMC price action? It sucks. It sucks. I'm not happy about it. I'm not selling shit yet, but I mean, I'm keeping my eye on it. Thoughts on RTX? I'm still holding some. I mean, keep in mind, Raytheon's already paid me, but I still have November calls I'm holding. Oh, Shopify's up. All right, here we go. Shopify, beat. I think gross merchandise volume is actually what you look for. Beat. Q3 revenue growth, low 20s%. Margin up. Revenue growth at low 20s. Interesting. You understand TSMC? Yeah, it's the China premium. Monthly active users cannot beat estimate. Thank you. Stock market plan is correct. That's probably the most important metric for Robinhood. Believe it or not profitability, but user base. If they can't beat that, good luck. Good luck. Shopify's up. Fastly, that's an interesting company, by the way. Slight beat. Slight beat. You have a Robinhood account you haven't traded in for like 3 years. Oh God, you have money in there. That's them making money on it. Why FinViz over TradingView? That's a good question. If TradingView wants to sponsor me, I'm happy to switch. Fastly is a shitcode net, is it? I think it might be, yeah. After what Robinhood did, only a simple. Let me guess. You're upset that they turned off the buy button for GME, right? Which, by the way, a lot of other quite a few other brokers did too. Energy transfer missed. Oh wow. Oh wow. That's a big miss. Are they getting punished? Not really. I was gonna say this is a low volume stock. I mean, look at this price action. But like, Jesus. Like no one can, like promo. You ever seen this shit? No volume. There was you had 14 million on volume today on this fucking stock. Is that true? This price action is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Yeah. Clorox, big beat. Believe it or not, Cali Otter, I think that's actually a guide up from Clorox. I think that's a guide up. Oh, sorry, that's not. No, it's either wrong one. Hold on. Yeah, Clorox. CLX. Yeah, Clorox is moving up. Kramer talked about Chewy yesterday. Ew, that business sucks. They don't make money. That's a problem. EVGO beats. Interesting. Yeah, not a lot of volume we're seeing on these. Let's go PayPal for a second. So PayPal beats on revenue, EPS in line. And down. Did they miss, or I mean, what part of Shopify missed? Clorox seems to be, by the way, the big winner in earnings right now. Sure as fuck ain't Qualcomm. Qualcomm's actually bouncing around. Yeah, it seems people don't like the guidance. Keep this in mind. Shopify is a very expensive stock. You are buying a growth story here. So if they talk about low 20s for growth, normally that's not bad. But if you're priced like this, it needs to be a bit better. Rolls Royce is the winner. Interesting. Oxy is tonight. Oxy's at 450. Oxy just happened. Unity came up. Yep. Revenue beat. Guidance. That's a guide up. That's weird. Promo, yeah, just own Amazon. It's growing faster. I agree. Did I see that run up on Rolls Royce? No. Ricey's a weird one. I forget. There's something about their structure which is really unique. Like, it's not just you're buying the engine company. By the way, Rolls Royce, famously, this is not the automotive company. They sold that asset off. This is jet engines. What time is Hasbro? Tomorrow morning. How does Zillow lose money? It's a website after closing down. It's, well, I mean, unfortunately, if there's not a lot of transactions, they have to pay for like developers and lawyers, et cetera, right? They do nuclear reactors too. Oh, interesting. Public storage. Funds from operations beats a little bit. Revenue in line. Same store revenue growth. I don't know. See, unfortunately, I don't know if like what the expectation was. Yeah, Shopify sales growth has been pretty good quarter over quarter, year over year, but the earnings per share growth, oh my God, garbage. Yep. I mean, keep in mind, the whole point behind Sir Jack is that, like, if there's a big investor that you follow or Furu you follow, they can verify the trades. His app is not for following him for very successful trades. It's for following other people. DoorDash is up. Wait, what? Were they tonight? Wow. Dizzle, you lost so much money today? Yeah. My account's been bleeding today as well. It's been one of the worst days in the past, like, 2 months. But that's fine. Regenerator, Sir Jack and his crew were in the inverse. Yeah, and I warned him about that one. I warned him about that one. Occidental, second quarter EPS, 63 cents. Adjusted EPS, 68 cents. The estimate was 71 cents. That's a miss. Looks like they missed, yep. Oh, wow. I didn't know they were up tonight. Hold on. May have found the best. Oh, no, they're getting punished. Acellus reported tonight. ACLS, it's a semi-cap equipment manufacturer that's really big in ion implantation. It's a step in the semiconductor manufacturing process called doping. Q2 EPS $1.86. The estimate was $1.46. Sales 273 million beats 256 million. Oh wow, DoorDash increased guidance. Oh wow. QuantumScape stock offering. Oh my God. We warned that's a shitco. That's a shitco. Yeah, PayPal looks came right in line. Estimate, yeah. I mean, dare I say it? PayPal was boring. Short them. No. This is not the market to go short shitcos. You made money? Oh, good. No, good. No, I'm glad you made money. I'm glad you made money. Put it like this. QuantumScape is probably not a company. When I call a company a shitco, think about it like this. Do you want to buy shares and then throw away the key to that account? No, not for QuantumScape. If you want to trade shitcos, I am not judging. There's nothing morally wrong about it, okay? I don't want you to be mistaken. All right, when I call a stock you invest in a shitco, and if you make money on shitcos, I am proud of you. I am proud of you. Particularly if you know how to sell. All right? I know people who made money on like AMC and GME. What I'm proud about is that they sold. Okay? That diamond hands bullshit, believing in like you're fighting for a systematic change in the financial system. No, you're not. You're looking to make money. And that's okay. That's perfectly fine. Makes sense? Well, you said about Qualcomm. Now Qualcomm's down a little bit more. Do I think your egg stock? Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's not a shitco, but they just really over-earned recently. Yeah. So Calman, I wouldn't invest in right now because I think they've over-earned recently, but it's not. They're not a shitco. They're not going to go bankrupt. Okay. I mean, QuantumScape needed the cash, so let's check their ticker for a second. Upwork. I mean, who the fuck that is. With a beat. Interesting. And they're mooning. Why not? Ooh. They were down 11% today. Take another 10% off. Timukuna probably should take your Nvidia profits before people figure out that 11 billion was fake news. Do me a favor. Make sure you're in here when they report earnings. That 11 billion is not fake news. They're going to crush. You can make the argument they're overvalued. That's perfectly fine. But no, they're going to beat 11 billion. That's easy. Easy. 100% easy. Yeah, wait till you see what the real number is. I think they do 12.5 this quarter. But I think their guidance is going to be disgusting again. It's going to be like 13 or 14. I don't know if they do 15. It would be shocking. But they've got more chip on wafer on substrate capacity. McKesson, yep. My God. That's a big beat. Let's see if McKesson's getting love. Clorox was up. McKesson barely up. That number looks good. What's the guide look like? Oops, let's put hold on. CLX. Yeah, Wendy, look at this. Clorox. Clorox is a bit of a shitco. During COVID, there's an interesting story here. Tim Kuna, who are the suppliers to NVIDIA and why haven't the suppliers seen an increase in sales? They did. They did. All of them said so. All of them literally said so. TSMC, 5% of their revenue comes off AI. TSMC basically just announced a $3 billion investment in chip on wafer on substrate packaging capacity, which is specifically to account for NVIDIA. Yeah, their AI division's maxed out. Tim Kuna, respectfully speaking, I track and follow semiconductors. I'm fucking right on this. Trust me, I've seen a lot of the people posting on FinTwit. They're going to delete those tweets, I promise you. You can make the argument NVIDIA is expensive. I'm not even going to disagree with you on that one. But if you think they're not making 11 billion, just watch. That's absolutely going to happen. They would not have thrown that number out. And NVIDIA doesn't miss. NVIDIA will guide down. If they thought they weren't going to make it, they would have already communicated this to the street. The other way you could tell was Monolithic Power's guidance talked about how they got the design win over Vicar for power boards. 13.8 billion guide, that's your guess? Could be. Everyone knows their guide next quarter is much higher than 11 billion because they have more packaging capacity. TSMC worked on that for them. Rad, you know companies front run big misses. Have they ever front run a huge beat? Yes. Yes. I assume you mean companies pre-announcing? Yes. And they should do it. They should. Like, to me, I'm a little sketched out when a company announces like a massive beat. Because it's always like, well, why didn't you like pre-announce that? Obviously, it's much more damaging on misses. Allegro versus Qualcomm. What's Allegro do? It's a semiconductor company, I assume, right? So McGooney says the guidance was for M to report 11 billion increase in this report. The numbers don't add up either the supply side or the sell side. What are you not? You're not. I don't know what numbers you're seeing. I don't know what numbers you're seeing. You can go read SK Hynix, their most recent earnings report. They talked about the boost they had to do for high bandwidth memory 3 modules. They're the number one supplier for NVIDIA. They talked about it. AI was like the one strong point from when TSMC was talking. I saw a lot of people saying, well, TSMC guided the full year down to 10% instead of down mid-single digits. So how can that be good for NVIDIA? And the answer is, that's not their biggest part of their business. The biggest part of Taiwan Semi's business is smartphones. All right, here we go. All right. Allegro Microsystems. I can already tell sensors. What else do they make? Except that's fine. But 11 billion? Yeah, 11 billion. That's how stupid shit's gotten. We are in the early phases of this massive overbuild in AI compute capacity. The closest proxy, my dear friend, is back in like 1995, 1996 early networking companies. That's how insane it is. Look at what Microsoft, what Meta, what Google all talked about their CapEx situation looking like. They're all buying up as much as they can. Yeah, okay, Allegro was a very different business from Qualcomm. Can I expand that? Sure. So, looks like they do power. Yeah, okay. Gallium nitride FETs. This is a power company. Basically, it sounds like Allegro is between power and sensors. It sounds like this is a closer proxy, by the way, to onsemi. Although onsemi has probably much bigger silicon carbide. I've never heard about these guys doing silicon carbide. So the chips these guys do and the systems they make is for controlling electricity. Pretty plain and simple. Qualcomm does application processors. It's essentially microprocessors, so brains, CPUs, GPUs, etc. combined. They call them SoC, system on a chip, and modems, so communications technology. This group does power and sensors, so very different. This group is much more close to, say, onsemi. Qualcomm doesn't really have an easy comparison because you could essentially say they do modems like Skyworks does, and RFID or RFFE, so radio frequency front end, akin to like what Cuervo does. But the other half of them is like what Apple does for designing chips for mobile phones. Make sense? It's a good question though. Yeah, that company looks pretty cool. I mean, I don't know about valuation or anything like that, but yeah. And I know earlier you mentioned Broadcom. Broadcom's like a hedge fund operating as a semiconductor company. They have like a huge software division. They're trying to buy VMware, which is, again, pure software. Plus, they have a semiconductor division. Broadcom is like one of the weirdest, coolest companies, though. TripAdvisor, miss. How the fuck you gonna... That's a weird one, Callie Otter. All right, so Unity. Doozy calling out Unity mooning now. Yeah, Unity's... Oh, it's got some more to go, I assume, but... How do I feel about Rambus? I don't know enough. I'm not comfortable with anybody in the memory space. Rambus is memory. Broadcom is GE. Kinda, with a little more of a Singaporean flavor. Yeah, if you ever want a cool history, read about Broadcom's attempts to acquire Qualcomm. It's got everything. Their CEO, Hock Tan, is considered a legend. He got dogged on essentially by President Trump because he spoke right in front of Trump, and at the time he thought he was going to get the acquisition. And then like a week later, Trump specifically vetoed the acquisition. Yeah, Unity looks a bit unsure of itself. All right. That's Unity. Let's check PayPal for a second. PayPal getting punished. Down a full 10%. Shopify. Shopify back to flat in after hours. This thing's been jumping around a lot. Qualcomm. Ouch. Finding new lows. Qualcomm's not. We'll have to wait for the phone call. And Robinhood. Robinhood's trying. Robinhood's trying. What would I consider a victory for Qualcomm open tomorrow? Oh God, I have no clue. Whatever it is, for it to go up. Incandescent light bulbs, yeah. That whole thing. Hey, Straight Perfection. What's the scoop about the US credit downgrade? Timing is weird. Impact, not much. Surprisingly, not much. Qualcomm call, I believe, might have already started. I don't know, though. That or 5 o'clock. SDGR. Schrodinger. Ooh. Health Information Services. They did have earnings. It appears to have not done very well. Very brutal days, you know, dude. Yep. Some days you're the pigeon, some days you're the statue. Chad, I agree. Hood's call will need to be monumental to justify continued loss of active customers. Yep. If you're priced like a growth stock, you need to show growth. If you're priced like a value stock, you need to show value. Call must be going on as Qualcomm is going down. I wouldn't necessarily say that. It may be going on now, but because we're not seeing, I don't know how much volume is on these drops. Mind you, the last 2 times Qualcomm reported and disappointed on earnings, both of them. I'll tell you right now, they were buying opportunities. Yeah, the one thing that I do respect about Qualcomm, they're not going to lie. They're not going to bullshit. So if you're looking for like, why don't they just say good things? They're not going to do that. And I respect that, but Hood is priced like a severely beaten down. Is it? Marathon Oil. All right. This drives me crazy. You have 2 marathons. They split up their upstream and downstream. You have Marathon Oil, which is their upstream. All right. But the ticker is MRO. Stands for Marathon Refining. I think the O is organization or oil. Okay. Marathon Refining. That's their drilling side. Then you have MPC, Marathon Petroleum. That's their refining side. It drives me crazy. Hey, take care, Steel Coke Eggs. Till tomorrow. Zirconium, you would never treat the market the way the market treats you. I agree with you. I don't think you would. Yep, so Robbie's pointing out the current issue with Qualcomm is getting through their inventory correction. Unlike other component suppliers, their guidance indicates they will still be seeing inventory correction in this quarter. The question is whether they have enough visibility to forecast a bounce back in the December. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, a lot of companies are beating, by the way. We don't like the guidance, for example. Put it this way, Qualcomm, what they've essentially guided for next quarter compared to this quarter is flatness. They're right next to each other. So you're not seeing them go down, and that's the most important thing. But yeah, Robinhood's a shit business. I don't like them at all. In fact, I'll go one step further. Like it doesn't. I don't know if there's a price that I'd buy in. Nari MedTech. They did well. Oh yeah, they did. Medical devices. God damn, look at that growth profile. Well, they're priced like it. His whole app looks like my DMs after air. Right. Robinhood was so close to making a full living off the apes until that GME buy button crap. To be fair, the only way they could have gotten away with not turning off the buy button is if they had so much more capital and they never would have gone public if they had to have that much capital, which I think is a big failure. I think that's a failure on the system. That's the one thing that I love the apes pulled off. Getting rid of like T+2 settlement. Oh, so good. It should have happened before though. Regenerator, I want to keep my eye on MedTech in particular. After Allegiance report and like Thermo Fisher's guide and Danaher's guide, like we got to get close to the bottom there, right? Because that's got longer term, it's got to be truly successful. I think T+2 is specifically for like broker settlement, and I think that's over now. I think so. Timakuna, yep. Cash demand growing as money markets rates grow on inflows increase. Rates estimated to hold above 5% into 2025. Wait, who said rates are estimated to hold above 5% into 2025? Because I don't even think the Fed's dot plot says cuts next year. I know people don't agree with them because J Powell says not. Even Goolsby, who's like a fucking ultra dove, said the same thing. But nonetheless, they put down in their dot plot that rates get cut next year. Stock market plan. Hood model served its purpose. Once the noobs learned better platforms, they moved. Agreed. I still think the best case scenario for Robinhood is an acquisition. Someone acquires them. You know, that may make sense. Robinhood being a part of like JP Morgan may make sense, but as a standalone entity, how long until Goldman Sachs or JP Morgan creates a better like trading interface if they really want to go after that business? Which raises the question, is it that good of a business? Big cap market maker. It's still 2 days between ex-dividend date and record date. Okay, interesting. My understanding was there was some form of settlement that used to be T+2, and that was actually what caused the collateral issue, which basically almost blew up Robinhood when the GME squeeze was going on. And then, by the way, multiple companies turned off the buy button because for every buy, they would have had to post collateral because like for a 2-day process, and it crushed them. Vanguard should buy them for the interface. Yeah. The problem is Vanguard's the most boomer organization like in the world. That's a good question, stock market plan. You have to wonder what the average account size is for Robinhood. The big whales won't be interested. That's fair. And but not only that, if Robinhood isn't growing its user base, no one's interested in them. You're not going to pay a premium for a platform that's literally losing people. Yeah, Vanguard is serious about not gamifying investments. That's another aspect that I think matters. Right, Tony. We have bigger guns, so we should have AAA ratings. Says, I assume you mean Jamie Dimon. Meanwhile, have the worst home affordability in history. But home affordability isn't down to interest rates. I mean, no one's beating the shit out of Canada's credit rating on their fucking disaster of a housing market. Did I see the Rover ER? No, I did not. Who needs to buy homes when you can squat with guns? Not wrong. Confluent seems to be fucking, by the way. Yep. Take care, stock market plan. Till tomorrow. Look at Confluent, guys. Confluent's up 13.5%. Again, it's these infrastructure software plays. The Confluent supposedly a really good company. They're the ones that are impressing. $18-month CDs are yielding over 5%. If the 18-month CD starts dropping, then you know when rates will drop. Interesting viewpoint. Interesting. Oh, look at the blood red. Look at oil. By the way, WTI started to make up its loss. They got tanked early. It tried its best to go back above 80. So over 1,100 customers with $100,000 or greater in annual recurring revenue. Not bad. Yeah, apparently the expectations for them must have been low. Yeah, Chad, one of these days I'll learn that lesson too. Play less on earnings and just buy the follow up. Honey, time to buy Qualcomm again? Yes, dear. Confluent, double beat, plus the CFO exits. Yeah, rad. We're gonna be up tomorrow on that massive Hasbro, and don't forget Cigna. Don't forget Cigna. Cigna, I'm more confident in than Hasbro, but I feel these are the two plays that I'm most comfortable with. Anyway, guys, let's check in with our good friend Jay Jared and see how he's doing. Oh, did I? Hold on. I don't think I gave people points. Yeah, choose outcome. Sour is one. Q's dropping. Well, the Q's are dropping because you have Qualcomm, Shopify, and PayPal are all in the Q's. I assume. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for tuning in, and I will catch you all tomorrow. See ya.